So with that, I again want to thank you all for being here. And now I'm going to ask John Mendel, our Executive Vice President, to come up and bring you the latest great news on our FCX customer pathway. Please welcome John Mendel.
Thank you. Thank you again. Let me welcome all of you and thank you for coming. I know you have a lot of commitments on your time, but we think this is a pretty important event. We're actually very excited. We need to turn that down a little bit. There we go. I'll lean forward. How about that? Very excited to introduce to you, as Steve said, the next and our last current generation vehicle today, and announce its driver. You know, this customer actually rounds out our three-prong attack to put 3 vehicles in the hands of consumers using these vehicles every day, because we get real-life experience from it. It's experience that we can't get as much as the testing we do on tracks and stuff. We want that real-life experience. The benefit, though, the real benefit is when you get people who share, who are early adopters and also share the same societal goals that you do, it's a real boost for us, because it continues to create a lot of energy internally to support efforts like the FCX program going forward. This next customer, and I think you'll agree with this, should not only be a valuable resource to Honda in our mission to normalize hydrogen fuel cell technology and fuel cell cars, but it'll continue to be an important advocate and a messenger for the entire hydrogen and fuel cell industry. This customer has already proven his ability to walk his talk and will now raise the bar even further. Let me introduce Mr. Terry Tamminen, father of the Hydrogen Highway, and Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger's right-hand man on energy, environment, and now greenhouse gases. We at Honda have come to know Terry over the years, given our parallel efforts in many different areas, but particularly bringing transportation-based environmental solutions to the market. These solutions most often start here in California and then sweep either across the country or really across the globe. And we have the greatest respect for Terry. We value his goals and are very proud to now make him the world's next retail customer of a Honda FCX fuel cell vehicle. Terry has a very diverse background, and I got a real kick out of reading through your bio. And we've picked out a couple of things. I know I won't do full justice to it, but there's a couple that were fascinating. From your youth in Australia to experiences in Africa, Europe, and all parts of the United States, Terry's developed an expertise in business, farming, education, nonprofit, the environment, the arts, and government. Any one of those is more than enough of a career for most mortals. An accomplished author who's written several books, including The Ultimate Guide to Swimming Pool Maintenance, one that I haven't read, but I'm going to pick it up on, I'm sure Amazon can get it. Your latest book, however, Lives Per Gallon, The True Cost of Our Oil Addiction, is a very timely examination of our dependence on oil and a strategy to evolve to more sustainable energy resources. Terry founded and served as executive director of the Santa Monica Baykeeper. He co-founded Waterkeeper programs in San Diego, Orange County, Ventura, and Santa Barbara. He also served for 5 years as executive director of the Environment Now Foundation and co-founded the Frank G. Wells Environmental Law Clinic at the School of Law at UCLA. Most notably, in the summer of 2003, Terry helped Arnold Schwarzenegger win the historic recall election as governor of California. He was appointed the Secretary of California EPA in November 2003 and Cabinet Secretary, the Chief Policy Advisor to the Governor in December of 2004. Terry continues to advise Governor Schwarzenegger on energy and environmental policy. In April 2007, he was named the Cullman Senior Fellow and Director, Climate Policy Program of the New America Foundation. Terry's also received countless awards and honors for his achievements and served as on numerous civic and charitable boards and commissions. Simply put, his energy and environmental fingerprints are on many of the things around us today. So let's again welcome Terry so he can share a few of his thoughts on our own. Okay. Want me to do the key now? Pardon me? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Thank you, John. Thanks very much. You know, it is indeed an evolution from oil, which has served its time, to something better and brighter for our future. And it makes me think about paraphrasing Shakespeare. Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this son of Honda. Indeed, we are about to evolve. I also want to thank a number of you. I mean, you know, you've heard me say many times that failure is an orphan, but success has many parents. And we are all successful, proud parents of this delivery today, of this evolution. And I particularly want to thank my wife, Leslie, who I'm sure will be here shortly. She probably got stuck at the shuttle bus or whatever. Jenna and Chris, my colleagues from New America Foundation and Seventh Generation Advisors, and two of the architects of the Hydrogen Highway who continue to make sure that it fosters and grows, my colleagues Daniel Emmett and Rick Margolin of Energy Independence Now. And of course, here at Honda, I really do admire and thank all of you, but particularly, I've known probably Ben Knight longer than anyone here. Where's Ben? There he is. And you know, it's at least 10 years we've been talking about this stuff. And it's been his thoughtful, measured approach that has, probably more than anyone, informed my own views and thoughts about this as I went into government, about how to make this actually work in a practical manner over time. All of us have that sense of urgency. We want it now. We want to avoid the pain we're continuing to suffer, whether it's from air pollution or global warming and so on, based on our fossil fuel dependence. But I think Ben and Honda have demonstrated that a thoughtful, stepwise approach actually puts down deeper roots and generates greater success over time. But I also want to say, probably about the same time I got to know Annabelle Cook, who actually had me drive my first natural gas-powered car. And then all of a sudden I got taken up to Sacramento and I didn't get a chance to buy the car she showed me. But then there I was in state government and had a chance to select my state government car, and so it was a Honda GX. And when I left state government, I also leased a Honda GX because I wanted that experience of a gaseous fuel, under pressure, limited fueling infrastructure, to get to know what that was like as the prelude to hydrogen. And I particularly want to thank Steve Ellis and Tim Cunningham. They've just been terrific. I think the way they've handled this program is also outstanding. And I must tell you a little funny story about these guys. I was going up a few months ago to an event in Santa Barbara for Energy Independence Now and wanted to show off the car of the future. And so they said, all right, well, you can borrow one of these cars and drive it up there. But word of warning, it only gets about 180, 190 mile range, and it's 90 miles up to Santa Barbara and 90 back. So, you know, it was a very hot day, and they said, now, we recommend that even though it might be a mile or two longer, you take the coast route to avoid the hills and the mountains and all that kind of thing, and don't use the air conditioner because you really got to baby it, and don't exceed the speed limit because we don't want you to run out of fuel. Well, I was running late, as always, and my wife actually wasn't feeling well. She had had a knee surgery, and so, you know, I said, you know what, we're going to have to just take the freeway, and I'm going to use the air conditioner. And the first thing that happened was, naturally we were stuck in traffic for a while, and people would come by, and they'd honk the horn, and they'd make me roll down the window, and they'd say, is that really hydrogen? Where can I get one of those? This is cool. And other people would just honk the horn, and they'd put the thumbs up like this. They were so excited. And I got up there, and Daniel and Rick will remember I pulled it into the little driveway where they had the event and the band playing, and everyone was crawling all over it and looking under the hood and kicking the tires and asking where to buy one. And then, you know, we get in the car and we drive back. Again, we took the freeway, and I'll admit I probably exceeded the speed limit. And I got back with 3 bars left on the fuel gauge, which by my estimate was still 18 miles left. I had done a 189-mile round trip and still had fuel to spare. So that's the kind of vehicle, that's the kind of technology that I was very proud to be driving that day, and therefore I'm also very proud to be a part of today.